Well, ladies and gentlemen, my apologies, but good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Mr. One Step coming at you live. What's today? Thursday, the 24th of July. Guys, I've got a lot of information to share with you, and today I want to talk about how important it is and how you uncover your purpose. Your purpose is from my perspective, your life's mission, what you are supposed to be doing. Before I go any further, I'm going to wait just a second or two for those that can tune in to let me know whether you can hear me loud and clear, whether my voice is coming across crystal clear, and whether we are in a position to move forward, because today I'm high energy and I want to give you a lot of value. I want to help you guys understand how you live your best life and how you come from a place where you rejoice every day, where you feel as though you're serving your soul. So today I want to talk about how you uncover your purpose. So by the end of this masterclass, you're going to know absolutely some of the fundamental things you need to do in order to be able to uncover your purpose and live your best life, feeling fulfilled, satisfied, and each day accomplished. It's simple, but it's not easy. So I want to help you understand there are a few key components in order to do this. And I want to walk you through the stages. I want to walk you through the process. I'm going to really help you come to terms with how and why you owe this to yourself. You owe it to everyone around you, that you need to be living from your core. You need to be delivering the best version of you and living your purpose. So I want you to know, guys, we all have a purpose. We all have a gift. And whether you believe in God, whether you believe in the universe, whatever creator you believe in, we've all been created unique, and there is something that each and every one of us does exceptionally well. But the only way you can live your purpose, live your gift, is when you truly step inside of it. And what I want to help you understand is that when you step inside your purpose, that is where there is an element of transformation. That is where the change happens at your core, at the deepest possible level. So how is it that you actually get to operate from that place, that special place that makes you feel incredible, that makes you feel fulfilled, that makes you feel satisfied? Well, the only way that is possible is when you operate from what's called your mode of genius. Now, I know you're probably thinking, mode of genius, you're speaking another language to me now. I'm going to break this down and help you understand. Guys, I meditate every single day, and the reason why meditation is so important is because what meditation does, it helps you calm your mind down. It helps you quiet some of the noise that's going on around you. You can never stop your thoughts, but you can certainly slow them down. You can certainly quieten them. And by quieting your thoughts, you start to hear the whisper of that internal voice that is giving you direction, that is giving you messages, that is helping you understand where you need to be going. And guys, I want you to understand that is your mode of genius. When you're operating from the mode of genius, you're going to start to hear some of the voices that are giving you a message, helping you understand that you're in alignment. And how is it you start to understand? When is it you really truly start to realize that you're in alignment? When you're doing things and they are effortless. Effortless. The energy you're expending seems as though you're just running on autopilot. It seems as though time is slowing down. These things you are doing joyfully. And you'll actually usually find that people usually come to you for advice in these kind of areas. Pay attention. It's our duty to pay attention, to make sure you understand. Because in life, as I said, to achieve these things is simple, but it's not easy. There are certain things you need to do. But when you start meditating frequently, you start to silence your mind, you start to listen and operate from your mode of genius, you achieve what I like to call being in flow. And when you're in flow, you know you're there, your energy is aligned, things seem to be moving in a different direction. You seem to be able to cut through a lot of the external noise. and you just operate. It's almost as though you're a ninja moving in silence. But what I want to help you understand is this is achieved when you start to pay attention, when you start to listen. Because guys, how often do you get a gut feeling? You get a feeling from deep inside that you know you should do something. Well, I want you to help you understand that gut feeling, that's your intuition telling your unconscious mind what it doesn't yet know. That's your intuition giving you insight. It has to speak to you through some energetic movement, and it chooses to come through your gut. So you have to pay attention. But this only happens when you're in flow. This only happens when you are aligned, when you're achieving a level of synchronicity. That's what allows you to slow things down and hear the messages, hear the voices, hear the instruction that you're being given. And when you're operating from your mode of genius, that allows you to pay attention to not only the signs you're getting internally, but the signs and things that are happening externally. So you can follow your gut instinct. Guys, I need you to understand that this is what they call the sixth sense. And it's not a fallacy, it's not a myth. The sixth sense is something that's very, very real. But you only become in tune with it when your energy is aligned. You know, when you appreciate and you pay attention, you actually step into your gift. That's also when you step into your greatness. You know, I want to live this life enjoying and being fulfilled. I don't know if you ever heard that saying, you know what? I don't want to step into my grave quietly. I want to skid into my grave, bam, and say, you know what? I had an incredible life. Smoke still firing off my heels because I lived my best life. I was doing things that served me, that lit me up, and doing things to my fullness, being on fire while I was doing it. I don't want to live that cautious life where I don't step outside of my comfort zone. But this is only possible when you start paying attention, when you start aligning yourself. You know, hindsight is 20/20 vision. Always, when you're looking back, it's 20/20 vision. You realize, you know what? And this usually comes when you get that gut instinct. After the situation's evolved, you look back and you think, I should have done that. I should have followed my gut. I said, that's your intuition. And your hindsight is always clear. It's always 20/20 vision. You can never join the dots moving forward. You can only join the dots going backwards. But pay attention to these signs and these signals. Because when you're aligned, you're going to start getting signs externally, but you only start to appreciate and step into this when you pay attention. Everything is energy, and the energy that you are operating from, the energy that you are emitting, is what will allow these messages to come back to you, what will align you with certain messages and allow you to understand that you are living your true purpose. You see, each and every single one of us can do something at an exceptional level, world-class, elite level. But it takes courage to step out of your comfort zone. It takes persistence to understand this is my gift and I'm going to get better. I'm going to be the best I can be. And it takes consistency. You see, world-class athletes, they don't get there by accident. They get there through those three things: displaying courage, being persistent, and showing consistency. And by doing that, it allows them to shine at world-class, at elite level. But this is the thing. Yes, they put in the hard work, but each and every one of them will tell you that they're not special. They're the same as you. All it is that they found their purpose. They found their gift by listening to their signs and putting in the work and the effort. Because it's going to take work and effort. But you owe it to yourself to be living your purpose, to do what fulfills you, to do what makes you shine. You see, I want to talk about the 2% versus the 98%. And when I say the 2% versus 98%, I'm going to break this down and help you understand. There are 98% of the world that are living unfulfilled, that don't follow their dreams, that are simply taking instruction, not enjoying their life, and doing what is safe, doing what is comfortable, following the masses. They're going in the direction of the flow of everybody else. And these are unfortunately what I call sheeple. They're not living their best life. They're not fulfilled. But unfortunately, they're not displaying the courage and the fortitude that it takes to live your purpose. They are making a choice, because everything is based on choices. They're making a choice to play it safe and to do what they believe they have to or what they should do, as opposed to doing what is necessary in order to allow you to step into your greatness. See, fear is one of these things that will keep you trapped. Fear is one of these things that will stop you moving forward. And unfortunately, the 98%, they're allowing fear to keep them stuck in that box. They're not prepared to step outside of it. They don't want to live what's called their greatness, because they're allowing fear to control them. Because you have a choice, you either react to life circumstances or you respond. And a lot of situations, these sheeple, unfortunately, and it might sound rude, I don't mean to be rude. I'm just telling you as it is, these sheeple, they follow the status quo, which keeps them reacting to life. You see, fear is in your mind. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail and help you understand. Fear is real. Fear is very, very real. But it's about how you control it. Because your mind is here to protect you, not project you into your greatness. I'm going to tell you that one more time. Your mind is here to protect you, not project you into your greatness. So whilst the fear is going on and the fear is real, you need to ask yourself these questions. Is what I'm doing going to destroy my life? Is what I'm doing, or is the fear I'm feeling going to kill me? Or can I potentially grow from it? These questions are vital. These questions are critical. And you have to ask yourself these things consistently. Because otherwise, you'll be stifled by your mind. And you won't be able to step into your greatness. You won't be able to live your purpose. You won't be able to walk the walk that you really want to walk, that makes you proud, that makes you comfortable, that makes you feel incredible. How you feel on a daily basis is critical. Because the thoughts you have that run around in your mind, if you pay attention to them, you're going to live that expansive life. However, in a lot of cases, what happens is you ignore the thoughts because that fear, that nagging voice that keeps you stuck, it doesn't allow you to really move forward. Other people's opinions will keep you stuck and stop you living your greatest life. I want you to understand, you know what? Each and every one of us, I want you to start thinking of yourself as a movie director, a screenwriter. And consider the people that are walking in your life with you, the ones that are talking in your ear, whether it be good, bad, or indifferent, consider them as co-stars. When you write your screenplay, write it with the purpose of it being a blockbuster. And if some of the co-stars that are walking with you and nattering in your ear are telling you the wrong thing, you've got the choice. And remember, I said this to you before, everything is a choice. You have the choice to write them out of your screenplay. They don't have to be there in your movie with you. You are choosing to allow them. And if you're choosing to allow them, they should be privileged to be walking that path with you. But if they are filling you with negativity, if they are disrupting your dreams, if they are influencing you to become a sheeple, you have the choice to write them out of your screenplay. You've got the choice to write them out of your movie. They don't need to walk in that movie with you. As I said, you're the director, you're the screenwriter. It's your movie. Let me tell you something. So that's what the 98% do. They allow fear to control them. Now you see the 2%. You see the 2%. Don't get me wrong, and don't think that they don't have fear. They have fear too. Fear talks to them loud, just like it talks to you. But guess what? That 2%, they act in spite of fear. If it means that they're going to go against the grain, that's what they're going to do to live their best life. They choose how they're going to show up each and every single day. They choose to show up and turn up. I want you to understand that very clearly. They choose to show up and turn up, because it's all good and well showing up. But if you're showing up and you're not making an impact, if you're showing up and you're not putting your best foot forward each and every single day, really you're taking up space. And I'm sorry to be this blunt, but it's your responsibility to yourself to live your best life. If you're showing up and not turning up, who can you blame if you're feeling unfulfilled? Who can you blame if you're feeling dissatisfied? So you have to quieten those voices in your mind in order to hear your inner genius and in order to hear the messages. You have to be determined and consistent and refuse to go with the status quo. You have to follow your dreams. You have to understand exactly how you need to do what you need to do. And I use that word dreams, but I want to break that down and help you understand. The 2%, they don't have dreams. And you're thinking, of course they do. Everyone has dreams, Kevin. No, the 2% have goals. Because what's the difference between a dream and a goal? It's that grey area in between called action. That's the only difference. The difference between a dream and a goal is that grey area in between they call action. And the 2%, they're prepared to take that action in spite of anything that's going on, in spite of their naysayers, in spite of people that don't believe in them because they believe in themselves, in spite of other people's opinions, in spite of the status quo, in spite of what the general consensus is. They've made a decision that they're going to live their best life and they are going to show up and turn up because they've said, you know what, this is my responsibility. I've chosen to live my purpose and this is how I'm going to do it. And when you make that choice, when you are definite of purpose and you make that choice about what you're going to do, I promise you everything starts to fall into alignment. Shifts start happening all around you that start allowing your dream to turn into your goal to come true. Everything starts to change around you that really aligns with what you want to achieve. You see, the 2% that go out hard, they become comfortable being uncomfortable. Because guess where growth happens? And I've said this before, growth doesn't happen in your comfort zone. Growth happens when you are uncomfortable. And the 2%, they become comfortable being uncomfortable. They realize, you know what? I don't need other people's approval. I don't need validation from anyone. And although the fear is screaming loud in my head, I'm going to act in spite of the fear because I'm going to put this challenge on you. And I want you to give me a yes in the chat box if this has happened to you on more than one occasion. How many times were you frightened of doing something, you were uncomfortable, and that fear was really nagging away at you, but you had the courage to do it anyway, and after you did it, you thought, wow, that really wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. Give me a yes in the chat box if that's happened on more than one occasion. In fact, give me some numbers. 2, 3, 4, 5. Quote some numbers in the chat box in terms of how many times it's happened to you. Give me some yeses. Give me some feedback. Because that's what the 2% do. The 2% push through and they allow themselves to understand, you know what? This fear is not going to stop me. I can break through this fear and live my purpose and understand that this is my duty. You know, as I said to you, fear is real. And for a long time, I said, fear's not real. Fear's just created in your mind. In actual fact, fear is what they tell you. It's false evidence appearing real. It's not real. It's fake. When in actual fact, fear is very real, and I'm going to break it down for you. Do you feel physical effects of fear? Are there certain things that manifest in your body due to fear? Shallow breathing, dry mouth, heart's beating like it wants to beat out of your chest, stomach is churning, you're getting that screaming voice in your head. Do all of these things happen through fear? Yes, they absolutely do, because fear is real. But I want you to understand something. Fear and excitement show up in your body in exactly the same manner. The only difference between fear and excitement is what your mind tells you it is. I'm going to give you a prime example. Fear. In fact, let me give you a statistic to help you really understand. Do you know that public speaking is apparently the world's #1 fear? Feared more so than death itself. That's crazy. People would rather die than public speak. A lot of the time, people have these. In fact, if it's okay, guys, I want to tell you a little story. I want to tell you a story about the first time I ever spoke in public. I've mentioned to you guys about my injury back in 2013. I think it was 2014. I was asked to speak at the Southwestern Surrey National Health Conference. And there were about 250 doctors, nurses, and psychologists, and physios, and occupational therapists. And they had asked me to come and speak about my patient story, my journey from my spinal cord injury. And guys, I'd never spoken in public before, but I was passionate about doing this. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to do this. So I sat down. I was thinking, I am going to turn up and show up today. And I was going over what I was going to say. I was going over my keynote, practicing it in my mind, because I said I refuse to take notes out. And I was practicing this and going through and thinking, you know what? I've got this. I can do this. And they called my name up, and my mouth was dry. My mouth felt like cardboard. And I stood up and I slowly walked over, and my mind started to race. I couldn't remember a thing. It's like everything was all jumbled. And I got up and I started speaking. And I said my first line. And guys, as the sun rises every single day and the moon comes out at night, I give you a true story. After I said my first line, my mind went completely blank. And I couldn't remember a single thing. Fear had taken over. And I was quiet for maybe just a couple of seconds, but it felt like an eternity. And I relaxed. And I trusted my unconscious mind that the information I knew to deliver was there at the back of my head. And I took a deep breath. And as I opened my mouth, the words just came out. And they started to flow. And I delivered my keynote, my 15-minute speech, the first time I'd ever spoken in public, in front of between 200 and 250 doctors, nurses, psychologists, physio, occupational therapists. And at the end, I got a standing ovation. And that was the proudest moment of my life. Well, one of them. But I got a standing ovation. And after I finished speaking, the clinical director for England came and spoke to me and he said, Kevin, do you know what? I was blown away by what you had to say, and that was really incredible. And we're holding a national conference in Birmingham. Birmingham is, I believe it's the second largest city in London, in the UK, or in England, should I say. Later on in the year, we're holding a national conference, and we'd love you to come and speak. I would love you to come and speak and tell your story. Later on that year, I went to the conference, and lo and behold, there were 750 doctors, psychologists, nurses, physios, occupational therapists. The difference was this time, I knew I could do it because I knew I'd done it previously. So, going back to fear, although fear was still present, although fear was still screaming in the back of my head, Kevin, are you good enough to do this? Kevin, what happens if you go up and forget? Kevin, what happens if you embarrass yourself? What happens if you don't deliver? Can you really, really do this? But because I knew that fear and excitement are the same thing, it's just about what your mind tells you, I said to myself, I'm excited to go up and speak. I know that these guys are going to get value from what I'm saying. When they listen to my story and I show them that you can break the mold just by controlling your mind, what I give them in terms of the information, they're going to love it. And I kept telling myself that. So my mind looked at the physical manifestations in my body in terms of the dry mouth, the shallow breath, the heart beating out of my chest, the stomach churning. And it said, okay, this can either be fear or excitement, but Kevin's telling me from all the things he's saying that he's extremely excited. So maybe he is excited. And from that point onwards, I was no longer frightened. And I went on stage and I nailed it. And guys, I'm telling you this because you can control and you make a choice each and every single day how you're going to live, whether or not you're going to step outside of your comfort zone and grow. And when you do that, that's how you uncover and how you live your purpose and how you deliver and start to live a life that is something you could only have ever dreamt previously. You start to fulfill your greatness. You start to project to your future best self. You no longer accept the fact that your mind controls you. You take the choice and you make the decision to control your mind. And by controlling your mind, you control the outcome. You have decided to be exceptional. And when you make that decision, as I told you, everything starts to come in flow. You start to receive alignment. You know, there were doors start to appear where there were previously only walls. And you don't have to go crashing through them. The doors start to open. All you have to do is knock and they start to open. But that's what happens when you challenge yourself. That's what happens when you decide, when you make that decision. I am going to step outside of my comfort zone and I'm going to live my greatness. By doing that, by defeating your mind, by meditating on a daily basis, by silencing these voices, you allow yourself to step into your greatness. You become in flow. You start living your best life. And it's your duty. You have to do this. But as I said, this only happens when you challenge yourself. When you make sure that you push yourself. But I want to help you understand, you know something? The challenges that you have in your life, in my personal opinion, that's the universe or God, whoever you want to believe in. They're just checking that you're serious about what you say you want, or whether you're going to quit at the first hurdle. Because as you start to go through these challenges, you start to achieve more and things start to get a little bit easier. I don't know whether it's they get easier or you determine that you have more strength to achieve it. I don't quite know which one it is, but whatever the case may be, you have to go through these challenges. And when you go through these challenges, you start to break things down. And by breaking things down, you start to get closer to your goal each and every single day. So you have to deliver. You have to be consistent. And you have to be committed to what you want the outcome to be. By challenging yourself and by going through these specific routines that you need to adopt in order to start to quieten your mind, that's what allows you to live your purpose. Operate from your inner genius and become the best version of you. It's simple, but it's not easy. I want you to remember that. But you owe it to yourself to live your very best life. On that note, I want to help you understand that it doesn't happen all at once. And some may say it's a marathon, not a sprint. But one thing I can guarantee you is that all can and will be achieved, one step at a time. I'm here and I'm committed to delivering you value. The question I ask you each and every single time is, how committed are you to yourself? On that note, To go out and win, go out and have an incredible day. Have a fantastic weekend, and I'm already looking forward to seeing you back here on the Same Bad channel on Tuesday, where I'm going to be delivering another masterclass and helping you facilitate the journey to growing your business and moving into your greatness, serving everyone that you need to and everyone that deserves your service. So on that note, it's Mr. One Step, and I'm signing out. Have an incredible day. Have an incredible weekend. I'm going to see you all real soon. Thank you for turning up. Thank you for showing up. And I'll see you again real soon. Take care. Bye-bye.